It's Dr. Jessica Szelag here, and today I would like to invite you to explore the topic that comes from the Taoist tradition, an ancient Chinese tradition, and it's the symbol Yin and Yang, the symbol that you probably have seen many times, and you might already have an idea of what it means, and maybe even you know a lot about it. Nevertheless, I think that this video might come with some new views and ideas for you on how to work with these two forces, the black and the white, in your own life, how to recognize them and how to control them in order to lead a happier, more peaceful, more exciting at the same time life. So, welcome, and as I will explain these two symbols for you, I am going to draw them myself in my art journal, or the symbol, the Tao. It's one symbol that consists of two parts, and I use my art journal a lot, and I advise you to get one yourself with a little bit thicker paper, since you might want to explore working with different media in layers, and then it's good to have a little bit rougher paper to take some of the work that you'll do on the page. I see that my cat is coming as well, so I might just as well introduce her, since she is a big part of my videos. This is my Siberian cat. Her name is Majuk. Yes. She's very busy because it's the evening and she has lots of things to do in the evening. Majuk is a Siberian and she loves art. She is with me all the time when I create. And you might see her paws or even the whole cat on my painting from time to time. So, welcome, and let's go to work. Let's create. I assume you already know the Yin and Yang symbol, but what does it really mean? Well, the theory of Yin and Yang holds that every object or phenomenon in the universe consists of the two opposite aspects, the Yin and the Yang. They are at the same time in conflict with each other and interdependent on each other. It is like a universal law of the material world, dualism, that if one thing exists, the opposite has to exist as well. You can imagine it being a little bit like a computer working with ones and zeros, with something being there and not being there. Both have to be present for the material world to occur. The theory of Yin and Yang mainly expounds the opposition, interdepending, interconcepting, supporting, and intertransforming relation. These relations are used in traditional Chinese medicine to explain the physiology and pathology of the human body and serve as a guide to diagnose and treat in the clinical practice. But you can also use this theory in life, in psychiatry and psychology, to understand your mind better and how it works. In this prompt of art journaling, I invite you to first lay out the two aspects, the dark and the white. They can mean different things to you, and I chose to work with the two forces that I find in opposition to each other in my life right now. The dark one, the Yin one, being the heavier, the more passive side of it, which is, in my life, finding the time to meditate, to do my Qigong, to do my own sacred art practice. And the lighter one, which is the action and the business side of my ideas, the framework for my videos and for my website, and how to find a balance between those two. What you see me do now is to lay out the grounds for the Yin and Yang symbol itself. I'm using a protractor to map out some measurements. It doesn't have to be exact. In the background you can see my cat Majuk. She's assisting me She usually does that when I'm making videos. It's funny because she is a loner. She likes to keep for herself, but whenever I'm working with sacred art practice, she comes and assists me. She's very calm. She doesn't disturb. She just lays there and looks, and is a great company to me. What I do on the paper now might look a little bit complicated, but really, if you don't feel like doing all this and mapping it all out perfectly, that's fine too. You can just draw the symbol as you perceive it and see what comes out. I chose to do it more perfectionistically this time because right now I'm struggling with finding a good way to be structured in my life, and being structured without having it to cause pain. I'm more of a dreamer. I like ideas, and when it comes down to actually executing, I sometimes find it hard to find the energy to do that, and that's a typical yang aspect which I lack a little bit in my life, and I have to work on that. So this is what I'm doing. I'm doing it measured out, and then I'm taking my Derwent Ink Tense crayons. These crayons are blendable with water. The result looks like ink. It's very pretty and very color rich. And I chose the two colors that are appearing a lot in my life right now, which is like a bluish green and a little bit of lighter green, and then purple and fuchsia color. I chose it to represent in a way where the darker green is the heavier energy, the yin energy that I have a lot of, and the more vibrant purple is the yang, the action energy. And as you see, there is nothing pure in this world. We both have the aspects in us. The male has some female aspects and the female has some male aspects. That's what the dots in the middle of the both yin and yangs represent. Now I'm using the water to make it float and create a smooth surface for my yin and yang symbol. And you can really use anything that you have at home. Maybe you just have some marker pens, or if you find like some cheap paint, watercolor paints for kids in your store, that's fine too. I've been playing with art and art journaling for a while now. That's why I have gathered quite a lot of supplies, and this is also my job. I do this in the clinic. I prepare prompts like this for my patients to do for personal development and for well-being purposes. That's why I experiment a lot, and I would like to invite you to do the same. You don't have to buy lots of expensive supplies during the first times you do this. Try it out first and see if you actually like it, and if this is something you're going to continue doing before you invest. I bought a lot of stuff in the beginning that I later didn't really like that much, and now it's just there and occupying space. I take some of it with me to the clinic, so maybe some patients like to use it. And what I'm doing now is the background. I'm using gold ink. I use a lot of gold recently, I've noticed, and that's maybe because I find this practice so deeply transformative in my life, and I get to know so many things about myself that I don't think I would have noticed otherwise. And it's been helpful for me. I believe that having some kind of sacred practice is extremely important for everybody, but especially if you're working as a clinician, if you work with people that are feeling depressed or suffer from anxiety, there is transference in that, and if you don't work with yourself and establishing who you are and what feelings are yours, it's very easy to get fatigued and tired when you come home from work without really understanding why. And this is my way to rejuvenate my psychic or psychological, maybe we should say, psychological energies. And then I use Qigong and meditation and walking and biking to replenish my physical energy. What you saw me do there is to write a little bit of free journaling, creative journaling about those two aspects in my life, the yin and the yang right now. And now I'm filling in the lotus petals, where I will fill in 5 words on each side. And I'm doing it a little bit upside down in the way that I fill in the 5 major words for the yin phase that I found important for the yang. This is something I learned in the Mandala Magic course I'm doing. It's an online course hosted by Julie Gibbons from Scotland, and it's very helpful to me and gives me a lot of ideas for my own work and my personal development, and also work for patients. This is the mandala journal I'm doing in this course. Some of these exercises are not in that course, I come up with them myself, but it is a great inspiration, and I really like to go on online courses because it gives me the freedom and space and opportunity to work with whatever I find important at the time I find important. I'm pretty busy in my regular day and find it hard to go away on a retreat for a week to paint. I like to do it in my own house a little bit every day. And I write a lot. It's the creative writing exercises where I meditate on my mandalas or just do some free creative writing. I rarely read what I write afterwards, but sometimes I do, and it surprises me how much insight there might be, and how much knowledge there is in the unconscious mind that comes out when we work like this with creativity and visual arts. So this is my invitation for you to think a little bit about the aspects in your life that are yin and that are yang. It's really easy to just Google and find out what yin and yang is all about. I'm also going to write a blog post on my blog or website, artforanxiety.com, about those different aspects, so that it makes it a little bit clearer for you if you were unfamiliar with yin and yang theories. This is all for today. Thank you very much. What you can see here is my cat sleeping. She got very tired from this journal exercise. And you can also see my standing tall mandala that I created a few days ago. I hope I'll see you soon again, and find the joy in creativity. Have fun. Bye.